pandemic has created a need for emergency equipment beyond the capacity of traditional manufacturing. To source equipment on such short notice, healthcare workers are relying on distributed manufacturing, including individual makers with 3D printers, maker spaces, and existing manufacturers whose equipment could be repurposed for urgent needs. Beyond matching supply and demand, that model has a variety of challenges. It's difficult for makers to stay up to date on the latest designs, testing status, and approval status, so often they are using whichever model they found. Also, many smaller manufacturers want to help, but they don't know what their equipment and materials can make. Crisis Connect is a central hub for emergency distributed manufacturing, focused on leveraging distributed manufacturing to match hospitals and first responders in need with donors, individuals, makers, maker spaces, and manufacturers. So let's check it out. We've got good information for makers and donors, hospitals and first responders to log their needs and find supplies, and then manufacturers and maker spaces to learn and donate. So, first things first, for a maker and donor, we'll register. Registration, you pick what type of user you are and you get appropriate fields. Most importantly, your location, because we're going to have to find where those donations are. Once you've registered, you'll be able to manage your donations. So if you have a list of donations that are already in place, you can add another donation. You have some N95 masks, you have 100 of them, and there you have it. So beyond that, you'll be able to mark them as claimed so that you're not continuously asked for donations that you've already made, and review your donations that you've already made. Makers are also going to be able to have a maker education page that's going to have a curated list of key production information and 3D printing best practices and links. Importantly, they'll be able to search hospitals and first responders in need by location and product, easily make contact with the person in need. So, how about hospitals and first responders? They can similarly register and manage their needs the same way, enter what they need, quantity, and submit it, and they can always come in and mark something as fulfilled. Simple interface. The fields and information are not final. We're still iterating on the data model, but we're going to get it right, and then we're going to make an API available so everyone can use it. So for manufacturers and maker spaces, they're going to have similar information as for the makers in terms of they're going to have donations available. But for them, we're going to have additional information about what equipment and materials are needed to produce some of the most in-need products, and allow manufacturers to ask, what can I build with the equipment and materials that I have? So we'll be building an API so that we're noticing that these need to donor matching services are popping up everywhere since the pandemic began. A lot of them are saving their data in Google Forms or other proprietary data formats. We're going to build an open API and open data model and allow developers from all of these sites to leverage our API for tracking donors, donations, businesses in need, and needs. And why is that helpful? The shared and collaborative data instead of multiple competing data sources will mean more accurate data for everyone and better analytics because of that. So we are only a few dev hours and a little bit of creative support away from launching a solid minimum viable product. The technology was architected and developed by the W2O Group technology team. It's Laravel PHP. However, we welcome all developers and engineers to join our cause as we continue to improve this product. So we have a technical team with some hackathon creative, post-hackathon creative support coming. But what we need, makers or engineers to provide insight on the taxonomy for the manufacturing functionality and to curate the latest designs and info and news. We could use healthcare professionals and administrators who understand the most urgent needs and can help us define a proper user experience. Beyond that, we want more creatives, more developers, more engineers, more people who want to help. Now, let's go make, print, and donate.